rush is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. You look at the Saints defense. They're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And when you see a ranking like number 4 in the league against the pass, that's a testament to both their defensive coordinator and the general manager that crafted this unit, and now they're out executing.
The 38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Again, it's Achane. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now Tua. The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So here's a 3rd and 14. Tua sets up to pass it. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, a pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Jake Bailey to punt for the Dolphins. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They begin with a run by Miller. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. This defense for the Dolphins, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
They'll run it again with Miller. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They'll run here, the former Longhorn with it, and he'll be converged on quickly. Maybe gets a yard out of that. The Saints at 2-8 now in the year. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Now Rattler. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So after several rushes to start the game, Charles, they go to the air there and get a nice completion.
Nice mix-up on the play calling, right? Establish the running game, make the defense think you're going to do it again, and then hit them over the top. Now you've got them betwixt and between. They don't know which way you're going to come at them.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. You talk about this Miami defense. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's about what you consider the break-even mark. If you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but pretty nice effort.
A shotgun handoff now to Miller. Now inside the 25. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. 56 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. How about that? Their quarterback. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, you know, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that will bring up second down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Tua going to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hill. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. From midfield, here's Tua. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Part of what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to pass. Tua. That is caught. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. Here's Tua. Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. And the Saints will take over possession here up at the 44. So a big return there, Charles, on what was a pretty dangerous throw to the outside.
It sure was, Brandon. That's the risk you run on a throw like this. If it's intercepted, a lot of times this is a pick 6. So good hustle to get back and get him down. But, boy, that's a throw you've really got to be sure of if you're going to work the perimeter of the field.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Miller. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. 62 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up fourth. Here comes the Saints punter now. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first. As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Up the middle, Achane. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Anthony Schwartz, 64 yards. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Running left is Miller. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. Call it a gain of 14 for the second play in a row.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to the end zone real fast.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Rattler wants to throw it toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks will tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. You know, a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. First down, Miami, as they get set to start the drive. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. He'll look to throw. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the 2nd quarter. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. 3rd and 5. They're going to look to throw. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. Going to lead to a 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. Muscles him off. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the 3rd quarter will start from the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. On the counter, it's Miller. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
And he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. And he is going to have a Saints first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you could actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. They'll give it up the middle to Miller. And he'll get this down close to a first down at about the Dolphins' 36. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Short throw caught by Dulcich. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. First time they've looked his way in this game, he comes through picking up the first.
Well, with his size, you've really got to wrap up because arm tackles, they're not going to cut it. And that time, he used his full-grown man strength to fight off his defender and pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Inside handoff now, Miller. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Second down and 4. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And his kick is indeed good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake.
Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devon Achane. His second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins strike quickly here to tie up the ball game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. This 2nd and 4. Here's Miller on the read option. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. To the air is Rattler. There's Chris Olave. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here now, 2nd and 4. Here's Rattler. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple, and that's exactly why they trail.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 45-yard line. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. Here's a give to Miller. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll throw. Here's Rattler. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. Fourth quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the fourth quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they'd missed that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Play action, now it's Tua. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he's going to be ridden out of bounds down inside the 25. It's a big play there for Miami. 47 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now 2nd and 3. And he'll go right back to right. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for this with Wright. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. That one goes for 8 yards.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Right. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. This crowd doing all they can. Here's 3rd and goal. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. This is 3rd and goal. Tua. Flush to his right. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill from 3 yards out. And the Dolphins have taken a fourth quarter lead. Important extra point up and through. And the lead is up to 5. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Miller will get it. He has been. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Back to throw is Tua. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Tua going to give this to Wright. He will push his way down to about the 14. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And they get to him quickly here as he stops right around the 13.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Achane. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. This is 1st and 10.
He's back to throw. Eluding the pressure right.
He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that,